Rada got fucked up on $1 wine. And then he sent me a picture of him in the bathtub. And I'm just like, alright, look. Please don't. I mean, I'm not seeing anything here, but, like, please still don't send me bathtub selfies.
I'm sorry, you have random Polish dudes sending you bathtub selfies?
It's not a random Polish dude.
And you still think you're not pretty? I mean, come on, man.
Fair enough.
Last time I got a bathtub selfie...
I never said I wasn't pretty, though.
I was married, and she wasn't even really in the bathtub. It was more just her standing over the bathtub, looking inside of it, going, what is this? Because it was kind of dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was just drinking in the bathtub. But, like, I was just like, you should order pizza at the bathtub. So, and in the delivery instructions say, the door is open, come in, bring me the pizza to the bathtub, and then get in if you like.
So, was he actually taking a bath, or was he, like, fully clothed
I'll find the picture. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Welcome back to another episode of Cactus Plays Phoenix Wright Justice.
I don't know how much of that I'm keeping in there.
My name is Bobby.
I'm Kevandre.
And we've been talking about Polish bathtub pigs. Oh my. Well, look at that.
I'm not putting it on the screen, so...
no, I wouldn't either, but... Yes. Hey, Reddick, how's it going? Anyways, last time, we still didn't finish this fucking trial.
Hopefully this time.
We pretty much figured out everything that's going on with it. Now we're having to prove the connection between Eenie Meenie and Dr. McLovin and her motive. And we've been questioning about the night of the accident. And then she said she didn't have a driver's license until November, which doesn't make sense. And then she was like, even if I had a license, I wouldn't be allowed to drive anyways. And we're like, well, why is that? And I'm sure it's going to be very convoluted into why that is. And we'll get an answer somehow. And then we'll still have to call it a recess to go get Dr. Hottie.
Yes.
Yes. Alright. And then that'll be a good time. Anyways.
Like, around that time, I was, like, really close to getting my license. My sis was, like, this totally big fan of cars and, like, really valued them. She, like, had just gotten this really shiny, bright red sports car. She, like, would say things like, no way am I letting a noob drive my car.
Yes, you know, how adults talk.
So, like, that's how I ended up in the passenger seat that night, too. I see, a bright red car for sports. I played Rocket League. Now then, the defense may question the witness.
Huh. I'm not terribly knowledgeable about cars. That's okay. I got cousins that are. One of my cousins is, in fact, a race car driver. Not big enough to be in NASCAR yet, but he's trying.
The way they're losing their drivers. Like, around that time, I was, like, really close to getting my license.
So, what do you mean by really close?
Like, I had one of those permit things. I think that's what they're called.
Permit.
Wow, the big-name lawyer boy doesn't even know what a driver's permit is. And she switches that shit on.
Well, this lawyer never had a permit.
Wah! Ignorance is to be whipped.
What is with her? All she said in the last few minutes is utter nonsense.
So, like, may I continue?
No.
My sis was, like, this totally big fan of cars and, like, really valued them.
She valued cars. How much would you say she valued her car?
Excuse me. Well, like, she'd flip out at, like, a drop of rain. And, like, she would notice if someone, like, touched the car door with dirty hands. Somebody drew a cock on the fucking dust on the back of my car. And I've been way too lazy to take it to the car wash.
Nice.
But I noticed when I went to my eye appointment, there's just this giant cock on the fucking back window.
It was probably one of our roommates.
I wondered that, or maybe it was just some kid in the complex.
Yeah, it could be. In that case, why bother taking the car out of the garage, ever? The garage, sorry.
Of course.
Why did she take such special care of the car?
How can you say that? It was a brand spanking new car. It spanked and everything.
New car?
Like, you wouldn't want to, like, get it dirty, would you, Mr. Lawyer?
I would think that cars getting dirty is just another fact of life, but...
You know, like fancy shoes get increased when you walk in them like a regular person.
Yeah.
This whole, like...
What?
There's this thing, I guess, where people buy these really expensive shoes, and then they're like, you cannot crease them as you walk. Like, if you do it, we're gonna get really pissed off about it. I really don't understand this. I'm like, it's a shoe, man. It's like, yeah, they devalue if you do that. I'm like, are you gonna sell your used shoes? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I've never understood that.
I really don't get this. Like, I keep seeing, like, a bunch of people talk about it. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I've never understood. I remember when I was younger, and this is off topic, but it's the closest thing that I have to a
we'll never finish the case because
No.
we keep getting off topic, and
Right.
that's fine.
I remember I had a little electric keyboard that I was practicing on, and I remember at one point I was trying to learn the keys and what all the notes were and all that stuff and how they related to the scales. So I had sat down with a Sharpie and actually drew it on the keys. So it'd be like C, and I would have the little actual musical notation up there to show what that was. So that way, if I was reading a piece of music, and I could eventually associate it with it. Instead, I got yelled at because I have an evil stepmother, and I got it taken away from me because I obviously didn't value it enough that I was writing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people make no damn sense about
Yeah,
that.
that's fucked up.
Yeah, I'm using it to learn. I'm not gonna be taking it somewhere else. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right? If I buy a textbook rather than renting, I'm writing in it. I am writing and highlighting and adding all sorts of post-it notes because it's a learning tool.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care if it costs $300. I'm fucking writing in it.
I rent a book from a library. I don't write in it, but aside from the opening flap where it's got the names and the in and out, right?
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. You're old.
Okay, well, when they did do that, they had the thing in there that had the opening flap,
Right.
and I would write Tom Riddle,
Of course.
new, and then when it was returned, I wrote Horcrux, and then I would give it back.
Of course. That sounds
I did that a few times, and in fact, I think that it was found and put up on the internet, and I was like, I think that's my writing! I was very
Nice.
proud of that.
I guess some people who really love cars think otherwise.
Phoenix, try asking something about more significance, alright? Well, Miss Meanie, what kind of car was it? She, like, had just gotten this really shiny, bright red sports car.
It was a new car.
Yeah. She had, like, just gotten it. It was, like, from the UK. The UK? Were those her boyfriend's initials?
Wow. The fuck?
And it was a really special model. She had waited for a whole year for it to arrive.
I guess her love of cars would be the obvious next topic. Yeah, tell me a bit more. I really don't know anything about cars. But I had a feeling this was bound to come up.
This topic is exhausting.
Your Honor,
Yes? Was that an exhaust joke?
please have the witness append what she just said to her testimony.
You mean the part about it being a special import car?
Yes,
Well, if you like cars that much, then...
that's not my point. Though, to be honest, I don't know what the point is either.
I think a point. Miss Meanie, would you please fix your testimony? Sure, whatever. My sister's new car was like a totally special model from England.
I'm slow. Anyways, I yelled, "Hold it," pretty forcefully, but I don't actually know what to ask about cars.
That's for the heck of it.
So, yes.
Yes.
What am I supposed to pick for a topic? Let's start with this. Why are British cars good?
Like, huh?
They're expensive, and their driver's seat is opposite to
Oh,
our
shit.
cars. Yeah, that's what I said up slow about.
Haha!
Because it said specifically in the article she
Good.
got on the right side.
Point. And that's why this has to take place in the States, because the Japanese have the same thing too, right?
I'm not 100%. I didn't drive.
I think the
I should know
Japanese are one of the very few, like the UK, who drive on the other
I
side of the street.
Think you're right. but I wouldn't swear to it. I'm fairly certain you're right, though.
Google. Do Japanese drive on the left? Cars drive on the left side of the road and have the driver's side and steering wheel on the right side. In Japan, yep. So this has to take place in the States.
Yeah. They're expensive, and opposite to our cars here in the United States. It would seem there is no benefit to owning one unless you deliver mail.
Or are in the Fast and the Furious and you want to be against Dominic Toretto.
Yeah,
Dominic DeCoco.
Imports.
Like, huh?
This whole steering wheel on the right side thing, it's kind of goofy, isn't it?
What do you know? That sleek shape, the perfect engine, the wild way it starts, the roar, the feeling of transmission.
Forgive me. Her personality really changes at the drop of a hat. Get it?
Oh!
They put it in there just for that joke, I swear to God.
It's interesting, isn't it, Phoenix? Bit by bit, we're beginning to see the real contradiction behind this case. She, would say things like, no way am I letting a noob drive my car.
Was your sister good at driving?
She was, totally awesome. She, said she was going to be the, racing queen of the nursing world. That's a very specific thing.
Somehow, I think she bumped my question off track again.
So, that's why I ended up in the passenger seat that night, too.
And that was when the accident occurred, correct?
Yeah. I, immediately reached for the passenger side door and fled, in a daze. Sounds like you had a terrifying time. There's something very big here.
Yep.
It's going to be hard to break apart such a natural-sounding testimony.
No, it isn't.
But we have to attack it. And by doing so, a flaw will show itself. It has to.
Do you really think so?
Believe. There is a path. I know it.
Huh. Mia almost sounded like a prophet for a second there. Okay, so around that time, really close to getting my license. I was totally big fan of cars, really value them. It was totally special model from England. Do I need to present on this one?
I would think so. I think it's very specific.
Yeah, usually it's whenever the extra details get added that we had to press on that one. Articles about the car accident, and then there we go. Miss Meanie, do you remember this article?
I've brought it up 10 times.
It's an article about the accident. You had said this in it. But I opened the right door and, got out.
It doesn't sound like me, at all.
That's correct, isn't it?
Why are you suddenly asking me about that?
Your Honor, which side is the passenger seat? The left or the right?
Well, it's on the right side, of course, because the driver's on the left side.
That would be if it were an American car, but it would be the opposite in a British car.
Opposite?
The two of them were riding in a British car. In that case, the passenger side would be the left side.
Ah! What do you mean by this? I haven't heard of Britain.
Miss Meanie, you said that you had escaped using the right side door of the car. But if you were sitting there, then that means you were in the driver's seat.
Ah! Order in the court! Order! Ah! Phoenix Wright is blabbing nonsense again. Enid says it's a person who was driving his older sister, Mimi.
That is what Enid said, yes. But that is where her story falls apart. Somewhere, all of us made a big error in our assumptions.
Phoenix, it looks like you finally found the real root of this murder.
If we connect all the dots, there can only be one answer. I'd like to ask the court a question. Enid or Mimi, who was really driving that night? Okay, now I could see both answers being right.
Yeah, like are we still thinking that maybe it's Mimi as masquerading as Eni?
Like, I kinda am.
I think that makes sense, and when she has the hat on, she's Eni.
Yeah, right? That makes sense with the drop of the hat change and her loving the car and stuff like that. So I think Mimi Meanie was the actual one driving that night. And that's who we're talking to on the stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so too.
As long as we're still in agreement about that, let's go ahead. The answer is the one person who had her driver's license, Mimi Meanie. After all, that makes her the only person who could legally drive.
Though, I mean, if she had a permit.
I don't know if you know this, but not all people drive legally.
Yeah, but also if she had a permit and had another adult in her car, she'd probably be fine.
But not at 1 a.m.
Are there time limits?
Yes, there are.
I don't remember time limits, but it's certainly possible that's true.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or at least a lot of states have time limits. I know when I had my permit back in the day, even with an adult driver, I couldn't drive between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Maybe that's true. I don't remember. I mean, that's 14 fucking years ago, so...
Yeah, we're old.
God bless. But you just said...
But I still had to somehow work in like 12 hours of nighttime driving. It was a bitch.
The witness, Miss Eni Meanie, was the one in the driver's seat.
Which leads us to the next question.
The next question? That was too many people.
Who is the person standing at the witness stand right now?
What sort of idiotic ruse is this, Mr. Wright? I even forgot to say, is this witness's name? This witness's name is...
The Sheikh Zula, the real...
Holy shit, that's gonna take half of your blue.
Whoa.
Fuck me.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll tell you what her name really is. This witness's real name is... And I guess we gotta present the profile?
The profile, yeah.
Yeah. Mimi Meanie. There we go.
My name is what? My name is who? My name is Chicka Meanie Meanie.
Mimi Meanie. That is your real name.
I can't blame you for changing it, because that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a...
Of all the foolish dribble! Then how do you explain her appearance?
This witness had severe facial burns when she was admitted into the hospital. So for the purpose of facial reconstruction, the surgeons used a picture.
Facial reconstruction surgery?
This is the picture she gave to her doctors at the time. That's right. It's a picture of her younger sister.
No! But Mimi Meanie, she died in the car accident.
That's what everyone thought. However, that was not the case.
It's the bodies they found in a car crash.
That was the body of the real Eni Meanie. Isn't that right, Miss Mimi Meanie? That car accident, 1 year ago. The one who died that night was Eni Meanie. Her sister, Mimi, then stole her face and was reborn as Eni.
It's pretty fucked up.
That is pretty fucked up. Not the most fucked up thing I heard.
I wonder if their parents are around. And they're just like, what the fuck, Mimi?
With this, she effectively erased Mimi Meanie from existence.
I don't think this is very realistic. Like, once you really consider, like, what was Eni doing? What were her responsibilities that Mimi had no idea about that just suddenly vanished? All sorts of stuff.
I mean, it's not like being a college kid is hard.
It's true, but I'm sure she didn't know everything. Like, maybe she didn't know her own social security number all of a sudden. Things like that.
Do you not know your sibling's social security number?
No.
I know mine's.
Mine's lower than my sister's, I think, actually, which is funny.
Mine is exactly 1 point lower than my sister's.
Interesting.
We were filed at the same time.
Oh, okay. I think that my sister's is higher because she was in a different hospital, and I think that matters.
Yeah, when they send it out for processing and all that stuff. You can either process it straight through the hospital, or you can process it later. For some reason, my sisters didn't get filed at the same time. Like, I think they thought the hospital did it, but then they didn't. So when I was born, and they were filing, they're like, oh, I guess we need to file them both at the same time.
Yeah. The only social I know is my own. I never even knew my ex-wife's.
I knew my exes. I don't know it anymore, but I used to.
I still do.
No, but
Just kidding.
I know my sisters, and then yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Plus, usually you have like a little care box or whatever, like emergency paper folder.
Yeah, the fireproof box.
Yeah, or whatever. If you know there you go. Identity theft really isn't that hard.
I don't know about that. Your Honor, I'm sure you can now see why Mimi had to kill Dr. McLovin. What do you mean? Ah! What is the meaning of this nonsense?
Dr. McLovin wanted to call back the spirit of a dead person. Specifically, the spirit of his nurse that died in the crash, Mimi Meany. However, that would not have been possible, because Mimi Meany was still, in fact, alive. And that fact would have been discovered had the Carol channeling been conducted. So this witness had to stop that from happening. At all costs. You know, would it have been? Couldn't they have just been like, oh yeah, I guess the channeling didn't work this time for some reason. Oh, channeling's a hoax, and...
Yeah, and ruin the entire city.
Yeah.
Which is why Morgan was there helping.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that's a good point. And also, to frame my... Anyways.
And that's why she had to kill Dr. Turner McLovin? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Before the Carol channeling, Dr. McLovin had the misfortune of consulting this witness about communicating with the dead. And in that moment, his fate was sealed.
What? Well, Miss Von Com... Ah! Why did you say my name just now? Looks like I've been unmasked. Vickers?
She just rips her face off, and it's the real thing underneath. She's like, yeah, I got that shit fixed, but I still like it.
That's right. I admit it. My real name is Mimi Meany. That quack doctor, he got what he deserved in the end. And I was so close to finally ditching Mimi, too. So close. But why? Why would you go so far as to throw away yourself? To become your own sister?
I think I understand why. Mimi Meany wanted her old self to disappear because of this.
I would assume it's that.
Yeah.
That's about the malpractice incident.
Dr. McLovin was right. The mistake was caused by the nurse. A nurse by the name of Mimi Meany. That's right, the person standing before us today. And a few weeks after this mishap, Mimi Meany had a car accident in which she lost her younger sister.
The timing couldn't have been worse.
14 patients dying in that incident, and her own sister's life extinguished. But
not the fire.
Yeah, I was about to say, hard choice of words.
Yeah. Talking shit, Phoenix.
It was all too much to bear.
I found a way for myself to escape it all. The only way. You murdered your sister?
No. Take advantage of unfortunate series of accidents.
Well, you know. Either way.
She lost everything in the flames of that accident. Her sister, and even her own face. This was her last chance. Her chance to throw away her past and start a new life as her sister.
Still pretty fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. A plan beyond my wildest imagination.
That's your wildest imagination, Judge?
No, it's beyond that. That jerk. If only he hadn't thought of the Carol channeling mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo?
Yeah, he's the witch doctor in Banjo-Kazooie. Come on, man, keep up. He can boke him. Becoming Eni has been the most horrible experience in the world.
In the world? In the world?
For the band? Spirit Carol channeling? The occult? I hate it. I hate it all.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I believe there are still a few unresolved riddles here, such as... Why did Miss Meanie choose to go with such a complicated plan? And why did Miss Morgan Fay agree to help her execute it? Regardless, I believe one thing has been made crystal clear. My meth.
Okay.
You got any of that dang crystal? Yeah, I do, bitch!
We only got the blue shit now, though. The innocence of the defendant, Maya Fey.
Tight! Blue, yellow, pink, whatever it is, give me that! This is preposterous! I'm perfect! Me, Franziska von Karma!
I'm going to enjoy the news tonight, Miss von Karma. How about you?
What a dick.
It's going to be broadcast all over the world, right? Your defeat, that is. Nice. I'm not voicing all of that. I'm just enjoying
And
it.
we're off a good better. He's dead. Rip. Phoenix, hang in there. Phoenix! Dun 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 dun. See, it works perfectly because he's Snake voice.
Yes.
This court is a fraud! A sham! Now then, please keep going with the whip. It looks like it will be some time before Mr. Wright regains consciousness, so I will go ahead and pronounce the verdict. Not guilty. And we're finally done with this case. I got confetti. Yeet. That is all. This court is adjourned. I got tea time.
Alright. June 22nd, 3:13 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
Congratulations, Maya.
Sis?
It really can't be good for Maya's health, to her mental health, to Carol channel Mia, to hang out with Mia after she died. I don't know that it's good for her mental state.
Look, accepting loss is hard, but if you don't have to, then why?
Alright, sure.
Right? For us normal people, we have to accept loss. She kinda doesn't.
I suppose that's true.
So, given the rules of the universe, it's probably fine.
Just, I mean, I guess it's not exactly the same as, I was gonna say, never mind, I'm not gonna even say that, because that's a spoiler and I don't want to do anything with it, so don't worry about it.
A spoiler, huh?
For something that I need our one viewer to watch. So, never mind.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. It's good to see you, Maya. How are you doing?
Oh.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Good point. It took me a minute, but yes, okay. Sis! I didn't kill anyone, did I?
No, you didn't. It was all just a dream. You used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and Pepper, Heavy D up in the limousine. Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper, I mean. They just had twins.
You know, sis, in my dream, I smelled a really familiar scent.
A familiar scent?
I was inside that clothing box, right? That box. That was the box you used to store your clothes in a long time ago.
That's right. A fine musty smell. God damn, Mia. Jesus.
Huh. There's still one thing I don't quite get.
One thing? What's that?
What would have happened if Mimi hadn't shot Dr. McLovin? I mean, we broke in because we heard a gunshot.
I think Mimi Meanie had planned to open the door to the chamber herself. And then you and Lotta would have witnessed quite a scene. A possessed Maya Fey who had just committed a murder.
She had it planned down to the smallest detail. Huh. Nick! Congrats, Maya. Thanks.
Thanks!
Looks like you bailed me out of another jam. Well, you know.
Oh, you know, spondage.
He's a little sardine.
A little sardine.
So dumb. But I really don't want something like this to happen ever again.
Stop murdering people then, Maya.
Yeah.
Stop getting framed.
Yeah. I'm fine because I have you to help me out, Nick.
Just use tax.
But every time something happens, I lose someone special to me. First my sister, and now my aunt.
I'm right here.
Hey, Nick, tell me. Tell me why my aunt went and did something so horrible. Why would she help Mimi Meanie with a plan like that?
Is she a bitch?
I just don't understand it, Nick. Maya, it's over. Why don't we just let it be?
Mother Mary came to me.
Nick, please, I need an answer. The reason Morgan helped Mimi with her plan was,
Ooh, do we have something for that?
maybe? Nope. I mean, maybe Pearl?
Oh, that makes sense.
Unless we have...
Or we don't have one for Misty, do we?
Does not look like that I was looking for. Mia, Maya, no. So I'm thinking Pearl.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Pearly? 4 years from now, a new master will be born into Kurain Village. And that person will be you, Maya. And? But, if you weren't there, then the main family's bloodline would disappear. And what would happen then? The Branch family. My aunt. No, Morgan's spiritual power is too weak. The next person would be Pearl's. Ah! Everything was done for her sake. It was all so that Pearl's would become the next master. Yeah, I can see that. Did Maya say something just now? I think that she was saying, I thought so. Where I can see that. Such it is. So does Nick.
I thought it was just going to say date and time. It's just like, oh, they fucked it up.
Yeah.
You are the only one suitable to be the master of Kurain, dear child. I sacrificed it all for you. I helped that brainless nurse carry out her murder, and cooperated with that whip-happy prostituter. It was all to unseat that annoying, witless, main family girl. That Maya Fey.
Maya.
But I shall be patient, my dearest Pearl. A chance will present itself. Your time will come. Rude.
This bitch crazy.
Hey, sexy times.
Finally. That one only took forever. A brand new episode has been added.
Turnabout Big Top. Oh, so it's going to be about Gumshoe.
Yeah, I like it. Alright. Finally get the save. There we go. Okay, and next time we can begin the next one. And it'll be interesting.
Yes.
Alright, so now we can do our shoutouts and be done.
Cool.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and go first.
Okay.
And this is something that I read about just a little bit ago. And that is the Polish occupation of the Czech Republic. Now, that sounds way worse.
Fucked up.
Way worse than it is.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a full-on invasion sort of thing. What seems to have happened is that where the Polish military, police force, and all them stuff were maintaining their borders for COVID and testing and all that stuff, because in Europe you get much smaller countries, it's really easy to just walk over.
Sure.
So I'm assuming they've been protecting all that stuff for a while now. Well, turns out, during a little bit of a mishap, they pushed a bit too far. And they extended their own border a bit, apparently without meaning to, into a Czech-controlled area, specifically a church, I think. There's a church building right near there. And they were even, like, denying Czech people, like, no, hey, this is the border, fuck off. But it wasn't. So, Czech had to get, the government had to get involved and be like, hey, the fuck? And they went, oh, my bad, this was a mistake. And they kind of pulled him back. We still don't know exactly why the mistake occurred, if they were just, like, trying to be sneaky, right? But it was probably just one person reading a map wrong, thought that was theirs, pushed forward a bit because he had the authority to say that, even though he was just too dumb to read a map very well. Or something like that.
You'd never know this, but when you're going to different places, they don't actually have the lines like the map has. It's very inconvenient.
Yeah.
They should.
I don't know if you've ever flown anywhere, but the States don't actually have just like a little line.
I know. We need a guy with a giant Sharpie to just, walk around town.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All the towns.
If only. Turns out we can't even get normal shit right. Like the Four Corners spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually in the wrong spot.
Of course it is.
It's like 12 miles away or something like that.
It's like that point in the very center of Disneyland. There's like a very particular little silver circle that's just past the castle. And that's supposedly the exact center of Disneyland.
I'm guessing it's not.
The problem with that is that Disneyland is ever expanding, so there's no true central point anymore.
Nice.
Or if there is, it's not there anymore. That's just a symbolic thing at this point.
Love it.
But it's interesting, and I always make sure to go see it every time I go. Not that I've been there in 11 years.
Nice. But yeah, that's an odd little story that I thought was just like, hey, that's weird. And if you know about the history of Poland, them suddenly occupying some space that isn't theirs isn't something that you would think would happen. So I want to do a shout out to it. It's just bringing the attention, read it, have a little bit of a giggle, and be like, yeah, shit happens.
To be fair, what I understand about Poland as a general concept, from what I've gathered from Roddick, who is my Polish friend, we've talked about him before, but...
We talked about him in the bathtub in the beginning of this episode.
True. Anyway, from what I understand about Poland is that you can kind of think of the Polish as Quarians, right? So they go on what the Quarians call a pilgrimage, right? They go to a place, find something, bring it back, right?
Okay.
The Polish, what they do is they'll take a summer and they'll just go to some other European country and just work in that country for the summer and then come back to Poland after that.
So...
Because they make a lot more money elsewhere and then they bring it back and put it into the Polish economy.
That sounds a lot like Realmspringer with the Amish, which isn't so much of a thing.
Oh, yeah?
At least not with the Amish group that I was with. But they would still be like, hey, work slow, go work with the English. And they'd get a normal job elsewhere.
Interesting.
For, like, the summer or the winter.
Just
whatever.
like data entry.
No. But there's a whole bunch of jobs around there doing stuff like upholstery.
Oh, sure.
So that's actually one job that I had for a bit, was doing upholstery for the church chairs that, like, especially leak together and all that stuff. And there's a couple of Amish guys. They're just doing that. They're like, yeah, business was slow.
And the Amish guys are just trying to sneak a nail gun back into the community.
It's
like, dude, this is so convenient.
Just Mountain Dew.
Well, of course.
Fuck tons of Mountain Dew.
Amish do. Anyway, so my shout out completely unrelated to anything. I'm going to do a shout out to Toby Fox because I doubt we're ever going to play Undertale. So I've been doing this 30-day video game music challenge thing on Twitter.
Okay.
And today's was
The doorbell?
What?
The doorbell?
No?
Are you sure?
Yes?
Because I know that's what I know mostly from that is the doorbell.
Oh, Megalovania?
Yeah.
No. Today's category was songs that you get stuck in your head. And I'm not going to say Megalovania never gets stuck in my head.
The doorbell.
It does. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. When he says doorbell, he's referring to Jules Conroy's video where he makes his doorbell to Megalovania, as well as other songs over time. Anyway, but no, I specifically put the song called Undertale as today's. Because I love that song. Usually when I start singing a random song just out of nowhere, it's either Undertale from Undertale, which is the song that happens as you're going through Asgore's house.
Okay.
Or Stickerbush Symphony from Donkey Kong Country 2. Because those are two very chill and kind of basic songs that get really stuck in your head.
You're basic.
But that song is amazing. The song called Undertale, and it's hard to describe to people because I say I love the song Undertale, and they're like, which one? And I'm like, Undertale, and it's like, which one? And I'm like, motherfucker. It's called Undertale, bitch.
Self-titled Undertale.
It's a fucking amazing song. I love it. It motifs throughout the game, etc. I'm not doing a shout out to the song though. I'm doing a shout out to Toby Fox, who is the composer and coder and creator of the game, who did like 95% of the stuff for Undertale. Who is a magical man. And I'm going to have a hard time watching through playthroughs of Undertale anymore because nobody's is ever going to be as good as Etika's, and I refuse to watch his anymore because it just makes me sad.
That's fair.
But Toby Fox, mad genius. So I would very much like to see Deltarune 2 come out soon.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because it's been like a long time.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for this episode.
Yeah. All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.